Hello again, this is Preheat. Welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. So, I was looking at the comments on my most recent Arcane video, and I realized that there were some things that I either omitted or didn't explain well enough or needed to clarify. So we're just going to go over those today. So think of this as the extension of the previous video. We're going to be covering the big questions there that we saw in the comments. All right, so the first one, by the way, I've looked into all these with the Sims, so I have like data to back what I'm going to say. First one I got was people pointing out that I was barraging at the end of my Arcane Surge sometimes, which is a mistake sometimes, and that is correct. You generally don't want to barrage at the very, very end of your Arcane Soul. I kind of have a bad habit of doing this because I always try to end on like a prismatic bolt if I have one, and so I'll dump there, but you actually don't want to do that. And I did that wrong in some of the examples, so I want to make sure you understand like how much of a loss it is. So in these examples, these are basically saying it's okay to barrage in the last global of your Arcane Surge if you're at least this much salvo. So here it's 24, maxed out 25. As you can see, these are neutral, right? So if your salvo is maxed out, it doesn't matter. But as we go down and we do like lower count, you will actually lose damage from this, okay? So generally speaking, your last global in your Arcane Surge is either going to be like a Prismatic Bolt finishing, or if you're capped on salvo, you could barrage there, but what's probably better to do is, because most cases you're probably not going to be capped, is just throw out the Arcane Missile. You should have a clear cast there anyways, and you can dump it freely because you're going to be getting a bunch of clear casts afterwards in your Arcane Soul. So yeah, as you're ending your Arcane Surge, just try to resist the urge to cue the barrage from the Prismatic Bolt if that's what you're casting like me. Again, it's a bad habit. I'm trying to work on this, but just generally speaking, get used to just pressing missiles as your last global if you can. If you have a missiles going into your Arcane Soul, make sure you clip that missile with the barrages that you're going to be doing. Okay, so hopefully that clears up the first one. And yes, this was a mistake in the video, but hopefully this information reaches you. Okay, another question we got was about chaining Arcane Missiles. Now, obviously, if you have the overpowered missiles buff like we have here, and you press missiles, that's going to fill up your missiles entirely, so there's no reason to chain there. And I realized, yeah, I did not explain this well enough. Okay, so I'm just going to clear my charges here just to show this. So anytime you have two missiles here, right, and you're wanting to use missiles back to back, this is how you want to do it. You press the first missile, and you press the second one on the penultimate, like after the penultimate tick there. It's a red tick you saw in my UI. I've actually changed this for myself. You can do this by going to Ellesmere UI, Resource Cast Bar, and then right here, last tick, just turn this on, and then you get that little tick there. But okay, so let's talk about double missile, like whenever you're doing the double, like when do you do that and why? So generally speaking, you're like looking at your salvo stacks and you're kind of reacting right before it like ends to see if you're at 12 or not, and you would just press your second one at 12. However, if you want to just double chain, and this is something Forgy pointed out to me in Discord a while back, but I forgot to mention it. So if you want to just make it more simple and just like always do two missiles in a row, basically, if you're starting like a new segment, this right here is just doing the two missiles always back to back, right? As long as it doesn't have overpowered missiles, it's just going missiles. It is only a 0.5% loss to do that instead of having to react to it. And in my opinion, this is the better way to play because you don't want to be like staring at your salvo bar the whole time you're playing, right? Especially because there's going to be stuff happening, new mechanics. You want to focus on the gameplay. It's a very, very small loss to take to just make the rotation easier. So again, if you're going to be chaining, you generally want to do that between the penultimate and the last tick. If you're in the heat of the moment though, you can do it like I was doing the other video, but okay, we'll show it again. Of course we get Prismatic Bolt, we're going to turn that off. Okay, of course we have overpowered missiles, we're going to turn that off. Okay, so like here, right, with zero salvo, if you just go missile, like that, you're only clipping one tick. That is a very small loss. Not a huge deal if you're in the heat of the moment if you want to do that, okay? But what's better is if you do it like so, buff off, okay, here, and then here, right? As you can see, the missile RNG is a factor, right? We have this talent here. It makes it so we randomly get extra salvo sometimes with missiles. But the idea is it's very, very rare that one missiles is going to give you like 17 salvo on its own unless it's an overpowered missiles. So if you're going to be doing a fresh sequence here and you've got two missiles, you can just use those back to back. Alternatively, you can pressure missiles, react at the very end, chain it if you don't have at least 12. So two different ways you can play it. Here's the loss that you'd be suffering if you were to always chain which is what I personally am going to be doing. Okay, moving on from there, lots of questions about the UI. So Ellesmere UI, I have my export in Discord. There's a link in the description of the video. You click that link, you join the Discord. The strings are all pinned in the UI setup help channel, okay? But tomorrow, by the time you're watching this video probably, there's going to be a new website from Ellesmere where he's going to allow us to upload our presets. I'm going to put mine on that website, and I'm going to link it in the description as soon as it's up, okay? That way you don't have to join the Discord. You can just, you know, download it there. If you want to, though, I still recommend joining the Discord because we have conversations there. Also, a lot of stuff can go wrong whenever you're doing this import because you also have to make sure that your cooldown manager is set properly as well, right? You have to have in here salvo as a bar. Same goes for freeze. You have to have in here or else it's not going to work, right? So this is important. Anyways, I have like folks in the Discord who help other people with the UI. I also go in there and answer questions. I answer rotational questions. It's a good time. You should join the Discord. All right. And then the last thing is, again, just another reminder on Metafy, which is the coaching website that I use. I do offer one-on-one coaching. So if you want me to figure out what's going wrong with your damage, if you want me to help you get the boss kill that you're looking for, you know, one-on-one coaching has been a big success for a lot of folks. So definitely go check that out. Link will be in the description below. All right, so yeah, this is just an addendum to my previous video. Hopefully this information finds you if you watched the previous one. But other than that, thank you all for watching, and hopefully I see you in the next one.